So another good reason to come to church early. So farm fresh eggs, obviously all kinds of different colors. Easter's coming, you don't even have to color these ones. So here's 1 dozen. If anybody wants this dozen, you can. Okay. There was 1 dozen left as far as I know. Right there. So, $3, and obviously they are farm fresh, and I know that they feed some special food, and I mean these are pampered chickens. More t-shirts. This one is the Elements. Actually, there's a couple of Elements t-shirts. And this one has 3 squares for the periodic table. And it spells out Bazinga. And dads know a lot, but grandpas know everything. I want a sweatshirt like that. And there's also actually a Minecraft periodic table t-shirt. So anybody that has grandkids or kids that loves Minecraft, that'd be a cool thing for them to get. Easter Bunny wisdom. Since Easter's coming up in 2 weeks, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Everyone needs a friend who is all ears. There's no such thing as too much candy. All work and no play can make you a basket case. A cute tail attracts a lot of attention. Sorry, I just had to. Everyone is entitled to a bad hair day. Okay, fine. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Colin. And John said, I believe in God. Not as one thing, though, not as the same old man in the sky. I believe that what people call God is something in all of us. I believe what Jesus and Muhammad and Buddha and all the rest said was right. It's just the translations that have gone wrong. Smart man. And George, equally as insightful. Ever notice that anyone going slower than you is an idiot and anyone going faster is a maniac? Still true. Oh, this was interesting. You know, this thing comes up with colloquialisms, though. Some of us use, some of them are more East Coast, West Coast. Some of them are old. Some of the younger people may never even heard of some of these. But settlers along the Atlantic coast of North America were delighted to find wild bees quite plentiful. When a family felt hungry for honey, the father or one of the older boys could almost always find a bee tree without much trouble. Frontiersmen noticed that the tiny insects always worked in groups and began to call many social gatherings that combined work and pleasure a bee. Ladies had their spinning bees and quilting bees, and men had their husking bees, and the entire community had spelling bees. Money was scarce on the frontier, so when churches were organized, the congregations were seldom able to give the preacher a cash salary. Instead, they organized bees for him. All members of the community, whether they attend church or not, were solicited for gifts of work, clothing, or food commodities. This practice prevailed until the early 19th century. Zealous collectors sponsoring a bee were not slow to put pressure on reluctant contributors. The result was that any person who made a determined request for a gift was said to put the bee on his victim. Later, the term expanded to include persistent demands for loans and personal favors, as well as gifts. Interesting, huh? Good stuff. Hey, you know, if you've been with the fellowship for a while, you've had drumming Sundays, and that's one of the reasons you're here, or it might be the only reason you're here. Who knows? Other people that have not experienced it, this is going to be very different for you. I remember one of my clients actually, she was going to visit our church, and it just happened to be, Jan and I miss maybe a Sunday every couple of years where we'll go out of town for a couple of days. And this particular Sunday was one of those Sundays that was a drumming Sunday, and we were out of town because we weren't as needed there. And she came that Sunday. And then she called me. She didn't quite understand what we were doing. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, daylight savings time, you're all here. Thank you. Idealism is what precedes experience. Cynicism is what follows. A wise man sees as much as he ought, not as much as he can. A man who is sound of mind is one who keeps the inner madman under lock and key. The Alaskan wood frog. The only reason I know this is true, and I actually know it's probably true no matter what, is because I kind of turn into a slug frog in wintertime. The Alaskan wood frog survives long, bitter Arctic winters by turning into a frogsicle. It becomes frozen solid, and for several months its heart stops beating and it doesn't draw a single breath. When the weather warms, the frog miraculously thaws and comes back to life. Cool. Just like us in the spring. A grandfather was delivering his grandson to their home one day when a fire truck zoomed past. Sitting in the front seat of the fire truck was a Dalmatian. The children started discussing the dog's duties. They used him to keep crowds back, said one child. No, said another, he's just there for good luck. A third child brought the argument to a close. They used the dog, she said firmly, to find the fire hydrants. Of course. Why is there any question about that? Out bicycling one day, my 8-year-old granddaughter Caroline and I got a little wistful. In 10 years, I said, you'll want to be with your friends, and you won't want to go walking and biking and swimming with me like you do now. And Caroline shrugged. Well, Grandma, in 10 years, you'll be too old to do all those things anyway. Oops. Out of the mouth of babes. I could see one of our grandgirls saying something like that.
Grandma's squishy.
Yeah. Yeah, she did do that to Jan. You're squishy. Oops. Artificial intelligence is no match for natural stupidity. The latest survey shows that 3 out of 4 people make up 75% of the population. That sounds like George. Oh, that one took a minute. Okay. A little girl was talking to her teacher about whales. The teacher said it was physically impossible. Is there anything else that we need to do this morning besides, like, anybody say anything about anything? Squirrels? Yeah. No.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Because, I know there is, because we've got an expo coming up. It's, like, really important, and lots of people, and we couldn't do it without lots of people.
Speaking of, our expo volunteer slots are filled. Yay! You're awesome.
And I have 2 booths left, but I have people that are possible.
Two booths left,
Yeah.
but they're possibles.
Yeah.
We're waiting for their applications. So how cool is that? So now we just need to get people there to see it. So that's where you can come in and Tracy, would you? Somebody hand out. Here, you take some. Take a few. Sandra Kettle is my hero for handing out flyers. She'll go to a doctor's appointment and hand flyers out to all the receptionists and everything. And so take them with you wherever you go and pass them out. People are looking for us.
They just don't know it.
They just don't know it, yeah. And we're kind of a well-kept secret. Many of the people that are here because they experienced the expo. So please, get the word out as best you can. That's the next step. Wow, great stuff happening. More to come on lectures and things next time.
Because there are plenty of people looking for a spiritual environment, but just can't do the traditional. But they want something more. They want to hear something, but it's just not quite right to them anymore. And this is where some of them feel comfortable. Yes. Okay.
We're still collecting items for our silent auction. So if you have gently used items or things that you haven't used before, things that you want to go out and buy, please put them together in a basket form.
Know about what she's bringing? Do you remember?
Herbal prenatal stuff. So she'll put that together, label what everything is, put it in a pretty little presentation basket.
And I know that there's going to be like power tools and tools too for like a basket.
Yes, men's stuff is always great.
Men's stuff.
Fishing equipment, hunting equipment, little things like that, tools, yeah. Tool boxes, tackle boxes.
Ooh, wow.
Crystals and cards and
Gifts and stuff.
Oh my.
And if you do gift certificates, if you do gift certificates, please put them together with something that's similar to the gift certificate that you're offering, because gift certificates on their own don't do well. So, and then you can just bring those in and leave them on the back counter where we put our potluck food. And I'll need to know kind of, like a starting price, what it's worth, the value of the item that you're donating, so that we have a good starting bid. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's funny. I was reminded of Lori's not here. Oh, good. I can talk about her. She's got an interesting story about when she came to the church. She came here, and she was recommended by some other friends on many occasions, and just finally decided to come. And I remember she sat in the back of the church like this for weeks. And she finally went, okay, it's been like 6 weeks. And she came up to us and talked, and she's relayed this a couple times before. And I appreciate stories like this, because this is really cool. She goes, I came here, and I was waiting for us to tell her what to do, for her to believe this way, or believe that way. And the next week, she wasn't told. And the next week, she wasn't told. Finally, she figured out, you know what? They just put it all out there and leave it kind of up to me how I want to run my life and what I do believe. And so she's been with us ever since. Many, many years. I have no idea how long, but certainly a lot of years. And we've been doing this for 18, for crying out loud. So, a little girl was talking to her teacher about whales. The teacher said it was physically impossible for a whale to swallow a human because even though it was a very large mammal, its throat was very small. The little girl stated that Jonah was swallowed by a whale. Irritated, the teacher reiterated that a whale could not swallow a human. It was physically impossible. The little girl said, when I go to heaven, I will ask Jonah. The teacher asked, what if Jonah went to hell? The little girl replied, then I'll have you ask him.
Score one for the kid, that one.
I think we're going to do all drumming all day for today. We're not even going to do a first song. We're going to leave that to Darrel. So, you want to do this?
Yes.
Okay.
You? Yeah. Whoa, did you hear me?
No.
I turned it.
It's on.
It's off.
I didn't want you saying anything people didn't want to hear.
When would that have ever happened?
Today.
All right. So who's this first time drumming Sunday? Oh, good. I like newcomers. Yay. All right. So, yeah, my other drummers, come on up. Here, we got an extra drum. Here, why are All right, let's start off and bless our drums. We're going to start off in the east. Everybody hold the drum up. Say Hanta Yo.
Hanta Yo.
Let's move to the south. Hanta Yo.
Hanta Yo.
The west.
Hanta Yo.
North.
Hanta Yo.
Grandpa the sky. Hanta Yo. Mother Earth. Hanta Yo. All right. So I always like to start off with Mother. We'll end up with Mother of Hope. So here we go. You ready, drummers? Mother, I feel you under my feet. my head is so clogged up. It's just going. Okay. If you notice, we used to play the rounds 4 times. That's to honor the 4 directions. So some songs you play like 6 times to honor the 6 directions and so forth. But 99% of the time will just be the 4 rounds. So I need another drink. Yes, I know it. Sometimes I do. I do kind of get carried away. It's, just drumming. I mean, it's just part of you. I mean, Anyway, here we go. So we're going to do the 4 Directions song. So it's honoring, bringing in all the 4 directions in to bless us here today for this gathering. So, call to the power of the thunder, please. Call to the power of the earth. Call to the power of the north and south. Call to the power of the east and west. Oh, the time has come. Time has come to unite as one. Control the earth with love. Call to the power of the thunder, please. Call to the power of the earth. Call to the power of the east, north, and south. Call to the power of the north and south. Oh, the time has come. Time has come to unite as one. Circle the earth with love. Call to the power of the thunder, please. Call to the power of the earth. Call to the power of the north and south. Call to the power of the east and west. Oh, the time has come. Time has come to unite as one. Circle the earth with love. Call to the power of the thunder, please. Call to the power of the earth. Call to the power of the east and west. Call to the power of the north and south. Oh, the time has come. Time has come to unite as one. Circle the earth with love. Yeah. This next song is it's like a blessing or a honoring song. I used to sing this to my grandkids, as they were little babies. You pat them on the butt like their butt was a drum, Anyway, and they usually fall asleep. So, here we go. Does that happen to you? It does to me too. Oh, that's the wrong song. Sorry. That was a morning song. I tell you, when I came in here today, I'm just like floating up here somewhere. I just can't get. I know, is it? Well, thank you, Joe. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Man.
I got you, Dan.
Thank you, sir. Hey, also it's also a water song, what they call a water song, which is honoring water for giving the cleansing of water. Like, you know, the thunder beings are believe that's how we were created, is through the thunder beings. Water created beings, and so anyway, a little rambling now. What's that? We chose on, yeah, the water of life. Thank you. I'm glad he's here. I don't know. Oh, yeah, we can do that. If I can remember what it is. You know, this thing is getting in my way. No, it's just... Okay, what is... I need some help here. There it is. All right. This horse, which is a... These are just drum beats, different drum beats. Now, all drum beats used for different, you know, calling of different, whether it's calling of, you know, the four directions, you know, Mother Earth, Spirit, however that, what it is. Well, this is a horse, which is what they call the sixth direction, which is the guardian of the underground. Well, a lot of the natives believe that, or that's where your spirit animal comes from, is the underground. Your spirit guides come from above, but your spirit animals come from below. I had the honor once of doing a particular process with a gentleman, and it was just something, you learn stuff all the time. And this is, he says, well, when that spirit animal comes to you from the bottom, if he's smiling at you, he's a trickster. You have to ask the next one, the one that's not smiling at you. So anyway, so I did that, and it's funny because they can't lie to you. So the one was kind of a small grin. I said, well, you're my spirit animal, and they grinned at me. I said, no, I'm not. So anyway, so I moved on to the next. So with that said, this is a horse. I don't know why I told you that, but here we go. All right, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1. Hey, another thing too, if you watch me, I know it, I'm bad today. If you watch me drum, sometimes your hand will just kind of follow right along. So, as long as I'm doing it, all right. So, all right, you ready? All right. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. All right, so, each drum has its own voice. Better stop me whenever. Okay, going. All right. Each drum has its own voice, and when a few of us started the drumming circle, I don't know, however many years ago it was, 15 or so, one of the members, John, he comes once in a while, says, well, when we play together as one, it creates one sound. But you don't get to hear the voice of every individual drum. So he created this, what we call like a round robin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 4 beats, 1, 2, 3, 4, And then this good-looking gentleman right here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. And then that other gentleman goes 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop all the way around. We'll go all the way around the room until it gets back to me. Gets back to me, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to add on 9, 10, 11, 12. So we'll be adding on each drum. Okay, and then when I stop, we're going to drop off one at a time. So you think you got that? You think we could do that first time through? I know it's a lot of instructions. All right, and so in the meanwhile, you can take and listen to the individual voice of each drum. And then how it sounds. Listen how it sounds too when you start adding on and dropping off. Has a complete different sound. All right. Next, that's you. All right, who's next along here? That's you. All right, we made it around. You rattled, should have rattled too. But that's all right, we'll get you next time. All right, you ready? Here we go. On a hard beat. Come on, rattle. Awesome. Great job. First time through, too. That's amazing. You know, I did this, was it the drum circle? And there was only 6 of us and we couldn't get it done. So, thank you very much. So Janice has a short message for us. And
Then we'll do more drumming.
then we'll do more drumming afterwards. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, sir.